Quinta do Infantado, we are in the heart of the Douro, near Pinhão, and I like to think that we are a little bit special for a number of reasons. The way we look at wine, more and more focused on the grapes, so we like to think that we don't change the taste or the smell of our grapes here in the winery. We have a minimal practice here in the winery, so you can see it's fermented in lagar. 100% of our wines are fermented in lagar, and basically the only decisions we take here is should we tread 15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. So very basic decisions taken with a glass in our hand, tasting what's going on during the fermentations, and really trying to respect the terroir of the grapes. We make 4 Douro reds, each tied to a certain vineyard, we have in some cases more than one parcel that go into one wine. So you know, the Douro is much more about blending than about making a Touriga Nacional or a Tinta Roriz. And even for us, it's even good that we blend a blend of grapes in the vineyard, then we blend 2 vineyards and make wines that, in our view, will be a little bit more complete, and still something that is really important for us, balanced and fresh. And then in ports, we do a whole range of ports. So we start with the white, and then in the rubies we do Ruby Reserve and Organic Reserve, LBV and Vintage, and in the Tonys we do Tony Reserve, 1020 and Quinta. So Infantado was established in 1816, so it's a rather old estate, and the name Infantado comes from infant. So the first owner was a Portuguese prince. The royal Portuguese family, for the princes that were not the oldest, so would not become king or queen, they set up a sort of a state in different parts of Portugal where they could get some money from and didn't have to be dependent on the oldest brother, sorry. And so they created this estate Infantado here, and then when the royal family started to lose their privilege at the same time as the church too, it became available, and my grandfather bought it. So it's been in my family for over a century. And my family, they were always grape growers. So it's been in I'm the 6th generation growing grapes, and then the 3rd generation making wine after my grandfather and my father. And my father and my uncle were pioneers here in the Douro. They started to bottle Porto in the Douro in 1979. And at that time, Infantado was the only Porto bottled outside of Gaia. So it's amazing. The oldest, we Portuguese love to say that we have the oldest demarcated region in the world, but not a single grower was bottling wine here. So the tradition of making the wine here and shipping it to Vila Nova de Gaia in the following, between January and March of the following year was what everybody did here. So it's not like it's a big step. I mean, when we started, we had a pipe directly from the pipa to the bottle. So I mean, how simple can that thing be, you know? But it was kind of a mental problem to bottle wine in the Porto in the Douro. So things have changed dramatically, and not only there are many more growers now bottling Porto, but especially I would say that in the still wines, in the Douro DLC wines, there is really an explosion of growers, and I think you could very easily say that a lot of the best wines being made today in the Douro are made by small growers working here in the Douro, doing everything. A lot of them growing their own grapes, some just acting a little bit like what we see in Bourgogne, negociants that find out and source good terroirs and then make the wine.